Hello, good evening. We are very, very happy tonight because we have a guest who came from far away from Los Angeles. This is Ijeoma Ilupotefe, also known as Omah Diegu. Please give her a warm welcome. I guess she hasn't been here for a long time. And now she's back. And I just want to introduce her shortly, and then after the film, we'll have the chance to talk about the film and about UCLA and about your career and about hopefully whatever the audience wants to know. She is a filmmaker and a painter and an author born in Ghana, is that true?
Yeah, I was born in
Grown
Ghana,
up
but
in Nigeria?
Nigeria, yes.
And
Nigerian
now
parents, yeah.
and now based in the US. As the first African woman to study film at the UCLA, she is part of the second generation of the Los Angeles School of Black Filmmakers, also called LA Rebellion. And today, her short film, African Woman U.S.A. from 1980, is one of the standard works of feminist African American cinema. And after returning to Nigeria, that might not everybody know, she lived in Germany for a while. And this led to the autobiographical documentary, The Snake in My Bed, Die Schlange in meinem Bett. 1995 it was broadcasted, and
1992.
two you made it. Five it was broadcasted. Made in collaboration with Das kleine Fernsehspiel. And that's where we found the film in the archives. And this is also why we are showing tonight the German the German original, you can say so.
Yes.
We got to know there is an English version at UCLA with Omah's own voice, which of course might be nicer from today's point of view to watch, but it's on 16 millimeter, and of course we can't show 16 millimeter here. So we decided also, because we are here, the whole event and the whole exhibition is about the archive of Das kleine Fernsehspiel, to show the German version tonight, but the Q&A afterwards, of course, will be in English, and maybe we can also talk about how you made the English version later, and maybe one day there will be a beautiful restored digital version with both both versions on one. So we're very happy, and after the film, you will be welcome to join the discussion. Thanks a lot. Wow. Yeah, wonderful that you both came here tonight. That's really special. I'm sure there are many questions now also from the audience, but maybe we are allowed to start into the conversation by asking you, Omah, at what point of your personal story did you decide to make a film out of this? You are a filmmaker and you are the person who lived through this, right?
Yes, yes. There was an independent producer from here that was in. Somebody had told him a little bit about my story, and so he came with his co-producer to see me, and I told him a little bit more about it, and he said, "Oh no, this must be made into a film. Yes, this must be told because it's very interesting, and so he said, yeah, das kleine Fernsehspiel, they do sponsor things like this, they do, And I said, oh, okay. He was interested in making the film. I said, I'm going to tell my own story myself, I'm a filmmaker. I studied film, and I would like to tell the story to my son, myself, so that it's not, when a story is told from different people by different people, it never is never told the truth. It's never told, not that it's intentional lies, but when when stories go, somehow along the line somebody changes one or two words and the whole thing gets muddled up. And my thing was, okay, okay. My thing, I thought they had. My thing was, I want to tell this to my son. I don't know how long I'll live, but he has to know it from me, what actually happened, and who exactly he is. That nobody defines him, and So I decided to approach STDF and the Skynet Swansea and myself, and told them that just a little bit of my story, and then said, well, I'm a filmmaker, I'd like to make this film, yes? I told them where I studied at UCLA, and I can make it as an independent filmmaker. And they wanted to see, okay, can you show us something you've done before? Well, I was here, I could get a copy of my film from the US, so I sent for it. And when it came, I showed ZDF, das kleines Film, Fernsehspiel, the film. Oh, yes. Then they believed I could make a film. So, yeah, they commissioned me to write the script the way I would want to do it. And I think you introduced me as that I was one of the first African filmmakers, and one of also not just the first, but Black American too. That is the black in the U.S. that UCLA had kind of. UCLA is known to be like I shouldn't say radical. I should say. Anyway, a lot of the people that were involved in the black, I hope everybody or most people understand me here. Okay, I'm sorry. The little German I know, I don't want to, get going. Okay, so yes, so I decide. Where was I?
You were with the
UCLA and the experience.
Yes. So as one of when we were invited, UCLA decided to invite some black artists to come and study film because there were no black producers or directors of film in those days in the United States. Okay, so they decided, okay, they were going to invite some black artists and so, okay, and I happened not to be. I happened to be just accidentally amongst the blacks that came to UCLA at that particular period. I was in Nigeria. I was a Nigerian television reporter, and I just thought, oh, I just want to go study how I can report a story, how I can tell a story without without the editors changing my story and making it favorable for the government that was, in power. And in those days, too, it was mostly the military government, one military government after another. So they had to kind of tell the story to fit what the military wanted the people to know. And as a reporter and as an artist, I didn't like that. I wanted to find a way to, if I could let people know what exactly was happening without being stopped, without being banned from. So, and from my research and asking other people, they said UCLA was where to go, because they were more open to things like that. So it happened to be at that period when they had decided to invite black artists to come. So when I did apply, I had my first degree in Nigeria, yes, in fine art. When I did apply, I was accepted, and I'm glad I was accepted, because when I came there, it was the atmosphere, exactly the atmosphere I wanted to work with, experiment with, learn with. We, as the students, were allowed to be independent, to produce, to experiment. Okay? Yeah, we were taught the craft of, this is how you direct, this is how you produce, all the camera and every other thing, yes? But we also wanted to tell our story our own way, not the way in those days that, well, the few blacks that appeared on television in those days were either sitcom or black, or a couple of films where they were either servants or, not really portraying those. Okay, there were one or two famous black actors, but that was it. No producers, no directors, nothing. So our stories were just told not the way we would want, actually, to tell it. So we decided individually, not that we came to a meeting and said, oh, this is how we, we came in with the thing, just like I did, to find a way to tell our stories so it's understood by people and it's not stopped, and we also portrayed what was right inside of us, what was in our soul, what came out. And it worked out that eventually the group that went into UCLA, I think in a period of 15 years or so, the black groups that went in a period of 15 years or so, we experimented, we worked on each other's film, and eventually we are known as the LA Rebellion. So we were a rebellion because we didn't conform to like Hollywood or any of those other film forms, and we told the way we did. So as you can see, my film is not the conventional documentary. It's also, I say it's an abstract documentary, just like a painter would do abstract painting, bring together things that will lead to, So, so when ZDF said yes, I could, they were interested in my story and my film, and then I wrote it the way I wanted to. I wrote it right from my soul, right from, I just let it come out the way I would, my art, you know, just come right out of me. And even looking at it now, I haven't seen it for a long time. It all, I'm kind of all emotional about it again, yes. So that's how I got to, make the film. And ZDF also went with the format. So I think das kleine Fernsehspiel was like independent. Yes. They encourage independent filmmakers. So that's how it came to be.
May I ask you something about the form? Because there is a lot of things told in retrospective, of course, but there is some material where you really, for example, the wedding. Was this your wedding, or was it another wedding, or what was that? So there's a lot of material where I was wondering, did you collect as a filmmaker anyway material, and you collected it together with things that you shot exactly for the film, or how did you work on it?
First came the narrative, yes? It's the narrative. This is what happened, okay? so you bring your students to help me. Yeah. First was the narrative, the story. Yes, you have to tell it, yes? But I don't want to do docudrama, okay? Because that would be people acting the part or whatever. And I wanted to do it more like a little bit similar to the griot style, you know, where a griot will come and start telling story in the present, but of something that happened in the past, yeah? But he's telling it to people who just have in their mind the present because they weren't in that past, but they can then follow the story and understand it, and then it's relevant to them at that particular time. So that was the idea of doing that abstract documentary. That when I went, it was, as I was filming, yes, it didn't have to just correspond with, yes, that exactly what is being said at that time, you know, the images and so on. But some followed the mood, yeah, the mood of what's going on. Some showed the culture of the place, so that anybody who had never gone to Africa or who had never been to Nigeria or could connect with the people. They hear me.
When you turn.
Oh, okay, yeah. Could connect with the people that that lived in that area, the people that, and the place I grew up from. What made me say, no, I have to. My culture is as important as any other person's culture. And that is what every other person should realize, that, you know, we all came into this world, okay? We all came into this world the same way, through a woman's womb. I don't know of anybody who dropped from the sky, you know?
I don't think so.
Nobody dropped from the sky. We all came through a woman's womb, you know? We all, and nobody, I don't remember being asked where on this earth I should just come out. On this earth my mother should give birth to me, okay? If my mother had been in North Pole and given birth to me, okay? I came out in the world, North Pole, okay? And So none of us has a choice where we came into this world. But if we do come out at that place, we should be recognized that that is where we came into the world. Yes, we should be recognized that that's where we came into the world. And the culture of that area should also be recognized. And the culture of the persons who brought us into this world, who carried us in the womb, who made it possible for us to have a body, a flesh, should be recognized and is recognized. It's not that it just should, it is recognized. And that is what we all should know. And that is what I said. It just has to. This is, forget about my right, but a child is coming into this world, okay? This is who he is, and he has the rights of whatever culture, whatever place, or whatever the origin of the persons who brought him into this world. He has the rights to it. And this is why, in spite of all the obstacles, some of my friends say, oh, this is, you didn't even tell half the story, you know? You didn't even tell half the story of what happened to you, you know? It was really a very difficult journey, you know? But it also had to be told the way that it's not blocked. The way that, for instance, I got the sponsoring from Germany, but the trouble I was getting was from Germany, you see? So I had to tell the story in which okay, yeah, we'll sponsor you, tell the story, okay? And that is one thing I got from UCLA. That is one thing I got from, you know, experimenting, you know? That is one thing that I achieved when I said, okay, I want to go learn how to tell the story so it doesn't get changed. So it's the truth and it comes out, yes? And I must say that, yes, I told my story, okay? But this film did bring about a change, okay? Because of this film, the German law was changed to where if you're born of a German father, you're German. Whether your German father was married or unmarried to a foreign woman or not, you are a German. That law was changed. So at least for people who came after me too, if they are aware, you know, they have to be aware because nobody goes to tell you how this is, you know. That's the right of your kids. That's the right of whoever you brought into this world. So the film did, you know, do something.
It did it twice, actually.
Yes. Okay.
But it also is an incredible gift to your son because you're talking to him through the film. And Ozim, I would like to know when did you receive this gift? Did you see the film right then, or?
Oh, I was in it. I mean, you saw me being silly and laughing and all the beautiful things, but I don't think I understood it till way later. I don't even know when I first saw it, to be honest with you. But it is quite. I got my mom's message, and I am my mom's message, but yeah, I mean, I understood it. I was able to consume it easier. It was more palatable at a later age, especially the perspective. Knowing that no one can actually define who I am except myself. I mean, my mom gave me the skills to be able to define myself, be able to command my own respect, fight for things I want to fight for. And I learned it not just through the film, but how she raised me. So it was an all interactive experience for me, which was really enlightening, great. Got me to where I am today. I mean, yeah, I after 30 years in the United States, I said, okay, I'm going to Germany. Show up. Oh, Deutsche Pass, kein Problem. Bezirkamt, andere Geschichte, aber. But yeah, I was able to get here, find work very simply just because of the opportunities that my mom was able to give me. I mean, she fought for, she taught me to fight for, taught me to stand up for myself, demand what I wanted, got here, got what I wanted. It's all going, I mean, thanks to my mom and myself.
Yeah, it's all you.
I know.
Shall we open up?
I'm sure there must be questions or comments from the audience, and I want to include you if
There
you
is a
like.
mic. Genau.
Any questions, comments?
Oh, I also wanted to say something, yes? Yeah, okay, the film ended at this point where, you know, your father's identity was
Yeah.
acknowledged, yes? But it also, the story went a little further in which, because I mean, this case was in almost every court you can think of in the US. There was the Amtsgericht, the Standards Amtsgericht. Yeah, okay, there was the one where they had to determine the status of my marriage. Yes? And it's very interesting because I had, yes, you know, I was in Nigeria, a man can marry several wives, okay? So even though his father was married here, my marriage to his father in Nigeria was legitimate, okay? Now, but here, it would be bigamy for the man, okay? So a court, I don't know whether standards, I'm very sorry. All these
Egal,
things,
who cares? It's
It
I'm a
doesn't
little
matter.
old, you know?
A court.
So these things, yeah. So they had to determine whether that marriage was legal here too. Somebody, so it was in the courts, yes? And one scholar somewhere, I saw the article in the papers, yes? And recited it, and actually went to the extent of contacting the very court and the very judges that were doing this, and quoted the international law that said that if the marriage was valid in the place where it was performed, then the country of the country of the other partner or whatever must accept it as valid. So even though it would be bigamy here for the man, but not bigamy for him in Nigeria. So the child is legitimate here. It's not bigamy. So it went that further. Yes? Uh-huh. But so it's very important for people to understand that the laws of each country is as important as that of any other. The laws of even a smaller, a small country of 2 million or 10 million people is as important as that of 400 million or 1 billion or whatever number.
So Nigeria is not a small country.
Yes. So anybody who comes from any small country or anybody, oh no, 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 their ways are superior. Their what is it is their laws don't. We are a small country with nobody. They look down. No. That small little country is as strong and as big as the big country. That poor little country, poor, I mean poor in terms of financial or any, what is it, is quite as recognized in their laws. You see, I go here and I go there. It's quite as recognized as that of any other country. And that's what anybody who has a battle to fight or something that they think is their right or their, should go ahead and, because we are all, yes, we are all I always say that, there are more than 8 billion people on this earth, but no two fingerprints are the same. Nobody, I haven't found anybody that said, oh, this person's fingerprint is the same as me. 8 billion people, which means that everyone, every individual is as powerful as the other. It has as equal a right to be here as the other, because we all also came here the same way.
Have questions arisen? If not, I would ask one. But yeah, there's one.
Thank you. Thank you so much. That was such a masterful and unforgettable experience to live in your world, the way your story, the way you tell it. Thank you so much. I have a question about animals in the film, in particular birds, and they function somehow. It seems perhaps as context and landscape or something thematic elements in your story, but one has the feeling that there might be more to their presence in the movie than meets the eye. Would you speak to us a little bit about animals in the piece?
I didn't hear the very last word.
Oh, okay. Would you mind speaking about the role of the animals that you portray so beautifully in the movie?
Oh, okay. Yeah. For me, spiritually, we are all one and the same with the animals. We are all one, especially living. Okay, I have a poem. Maybe that might explain it a little bit more, It's titled I Am. shivering in the blending arts, serenading, one with time, with one. I see my neighbor like me, yet it's me. I, who I am time. I, who I am space. I, being of time and of space, with no beginning. Beginning change? Yes. As time is in space and space in time. Tangible, yes, yet intangible. Indestructible, I am. So that means that everything, we're all, it's a blend of different lives, yes? Sorry. So the animals are us, we are the animals. The lights are us, we are the, because we're just time and space. That's within this, that's what we're made of.
This is also, thank you. This makes me think about the scene when Olga is in the garden presenting all of the different kinds of plants and
Yes.
where they are and which ones have shade and which ones are not ripe yet. Yeah.
Exactly. Those plants, they are like us, too. Plants do have feelings. Plants also do move. Plants also do speak the language that we might not understand. And we also speak to the plants one way or the other. Not, maybe we don't know when we're speaking to them, but we do, okay? So I'm just saying that everything is one and the same. Everything is what that one God is, if you want to call it. You know? There is no separation. You know? When we get out, when we leave this place, we go right back, either ashes or or we feed some plant, yes, or some insects, or some, that is our body. Okay? So we are blending all the time. Everything is being blended. Okay? We eat those plants to make our flesh. We drink water to hydrate us. So we're all made up of the same elements. Okay?
Thank you.
So I see no separation. I see no separation at all.
No.
You know? So I use the plants. You see where I'm sitting on the table, and these hyacinths from this sea is coming towards me. And for me, I see them coming towards me. Okay? And practically, it's talking to me. Okay? I see these animals. Okay, I use the swans. You saw the swans. You saw the black swan, and you saw the white swan. These black swans actually came all the way, so I heard, from Australia. They flew, they fly, as a couple, all the way from there to that, I think it was Starnberger. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. And they are amongst these white swans. Okay? You see, all that way. The same happens with a whole lot of animals. In the sea, they migrate to where maybe there's more food, or the water is warmer or colder, or everything, you know? So for me, they were also telling the story with me. They were also telling the story with me. Every single thing there was telling the story. In your subconscious, your understanding, I'm almost sure that everybody here who really pays attention is getting told the story by all these elements in the film. Not just the narration, not just, by all the elements. By the movements, by the movement of the sea, so that's, that it was important for me to use it, okay? That is also how I see the world, okay? I'm an artist, first and foremost, okay? That is who I am within me. That is who I am. So I cannot create anything that doesn't come from my soul and be satisfied with it. Yes, I can copy anything, draw, paint, but if it doesn't come from inside of here, for me it's not art, because I'm part of that ever-moving space in time.
Thank you.
No one else has a question. I would like to ask you a question.
Thank you very much for this wonderful film, and also for the the struggle you had with such a you had this panic moment, but in general you were very confident that you could do this with all your friends, and in the end you were also confident that you would win. And I think there's a lot of other struggles now of migrant women in Germany still doing the same type of struggles. And I would like to know if you had some contact to if this film was projected later again, or you have some contact to some migrant women or African women organizations in Germany who have the same type of struggles to do.
See, I must confess one thing. I don't hear too well.
I can ask the question again. Did you ever, were you ever in contact with other migrant women in Germany or groups who faced the same struggle you had to fight? And also later, was the film shown anywhere in groups or in the context?
Yeah, the film had even this. What was this other? The film showed.
Oh,
even
at
here in
Feminist
Berlin-
Elsewhere's 2 weeks ago.
in Berlin 2 weeks ago by another group. Huh?
And in between, like in the...
Was it shown anywhere else?
Oh yes, it's shown some places in the U.S. It's shown, you know. Okay, I haven't been a very, should I say, I haven't been of very good health, okay? So when the film is shown and I'm invited, I can't go. Yeah, the film is at UCLA archives or any other place because it's been protected. Yes. Okay, the film is being protected from just any mass distribution because it belongs particularly to.
Let me hold it so you're not straining.
Okay. It belongs to this, like I said, this group this group in history that's called LA Rebellion. Okay. The films, the DVDs are in every library, every university library in the United States. So students can go, get it, watch it. Some have contacted me and said they were writing an essay or a paper on my film and wanted to ask more questions. And it's not just this film. I made there's another film that quite right now is actually very relevant in the U.S. African Woman U.S.A. Okay, it's very relevant in the Me Too movement. I don't know if any of you have heard of the Me Too movement. Yes. We are women who were molested or raped or in any, started coming out to fight, to say openly, you know, that yes, this happened to me, that happened to me. This very influential person, because of their power, they manipulated me into doing things I wouldn't have done, okay? And so a whole lot of women had the courage now to come out. Otherwise, before it was like, oh, they didn't either want to report it or out of either shame, because some people say, yeah, it's your fault. You did, you know, either what you're wearing or how you were posed or whatever caused it, yes? So a lot of women didn't come out, didn't say anything. And some was, oh, even if they reported it, yes, the prosecutors didn't really want to do anything, or they wanted to discourage the women from doing anything by saying, oh, that person will have a lawyer that's going to
Outpower you.
put you through, you know, cross-examinations and questions and things like that, that you will relieve the rape. So the women will withdraw. No, I don't want to go through that rape process again. But it so happened that all of a sudden, as things would happen, I don't know, some women came out and said, yes, this happened to me. And then some famous women, like in the film industries and so on, that you would think, oh, they were above what it came out and say, yes, this person did that to me, that person did that to me. That very strong producer said, you know, tricked me or kind of into doing this and so on. So that became relevant in the US. Suddenly my films like mine that were done 40 years, oh my God, I'm old. About 40.
Yes, you are. I'm just playing.
About 40 years ago, expressing this from the point of view of the person's daughter went through this. Yeah, but it doesn't matter, daughter or what is it, became sorted after because people were, oh boy, it's, you know, they started reliving this. So the film, African Woman U.S.A. has had its, you know, has had a good run, you know, and it helped to a lot of people. It helped to a lot of people to know that they weren't alone and that, you know, it wasn't their fault, and to fight. Because it's not just rape, physical rape, okay? For that African woman, it's also the rape of, you're qualified to do this job. You're qualified, you've gone through, you've even done it somewhere before. And you go for an interview, and the person who is interviewing you for a job isn't actually even interested in what you're saying or in whatever your resume is saying, you know? Eventually, you get offered either a job, you get a job offer very much below your qualification, or even if you got that from your qualification, you got offered pay that was in no way, not even 50% of what either a man or mostly a white man would have. So that in itself is another kind of rape. So, you know, because in fact I would say it's a more serious rape because it leaves damage. It damages the person's both self-confidence and, you know. So all these things combined just made, at least people started fighting back. And then it's helping now to, with the court cases and decisions going on, it's helping to curb that behavior. So that's just it.
Omah, may I ask you, are you still doing some artwork? Are you writing? Are you still filming? Are you doing it for yourself, or have you stopped at a certain point?
Okay, I had to kind of slow down some because when you're fighting for your life, you have to be alive first. You know, you have to be alive first. But I was still doing something. But there's a very important project that is in my bucket list, and it must be done before I leave. You know, I'm not going anywhere until it's done. Good. So, yeah.
I don't know if there are any more things that you would love to comment or ask here, because otherwise we could also go to the bar and maybe go on talking in smaller groups if you like.
Yeah, I'm okay. I think somehow the film talks for itself, speaks
Yeah,
for itself.
your
It
film
does.
is beautiful, and I think we are all very deeply. Your film is beautiful, and we are all very deeply touched by it. And I think what you said, that we are all one. I think we all feel it very strong right now.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank
for
you
that.
very, very much.
Thank you, both of you. Thanks a lot for being with us. And please be with us for another moment. We can just go up and have informal conversations. I'm sure people would like to talk to you.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Well, thank you.
you.